Can someone talk about playoffs? Playoffs? What do you mean playoffs? We're trying to win a game! Playoffs? Oh, let's talk about playoffs, boys. We beat the Vikings, okay? So a 36% chance to make the playoffs. We're currently 8-6 on the year. I know, it's ugly right here. Division thingy-wingy right here is kind of ugly, okay? I know we're 0-4 in the division, it is what it is. But we need the Broncos to lose tonight. If the Broncos lose tonight, we jump up to a 38% chance to make the playoffs. Okay, well actually let me go ahead and reset this because I think it kind of got messed up because I clicked on something. So let's do this again. Then the Broncos lose. Okay, now we're at a 40% chance. Okay, so for some reason, whenever you click on things, it does different simulations. So I'm trying to go based on the first simulation it has here, but 40% chance to make the playoffs. If the Broncos lose tonight, or sorry, win tonight, we sit at 32% chance. If they lose, 40% chance. If they win, we're dropping down to a 32% chance, okay? Let's say they lose. Let's say in the hypothetical world, the Lions take care of business and they get the job done. I can also bring back my face cam because I was just kind of taking it off to show you guys the record down here. All right, next thing. We need the Bears to beat the Browns, okay? We need that to happen. We need the Colts to beat the Steelers. Now, you can see right here, this doesn't really matter that much. If the Colts beat the Steelers or the Steelers beat the Colts. It doesn't really matter when it comes to playoffs because we'll either be 6th seed or 7th seed. The Colts win, we're 6th seed again. If the Steelers win, we're 7th seed. So if the Steelers win, actually, yeah, right here. See, we're 7th seed, Steelers are 5th seed. If the Colts win, then we are 6th seed, and the Steelers get knocked out of the playoffs. So let's say the Colts win that game. We need the Titans to beat the Texans. There's going to be no CJ Stroud in that Texans game. So without CJ Stroud, it's very possible that the Texans go ahead and lose that game. If they lose that game, we see a 46% chance to make the playoffs. Cowboys beat Bills. We need this to happen. We then sit at a 49% chance. It's because the Chiefs couldn't take care of business and beat the Bills. So now we need the Cowboys to win. We sit in 8-6, the 6th seed right now. Now, nothing else really matters too much when it comes to like our seeding, but we do need the Ravens to beat the Jags. This is just because we want the Jags to be knocked out as much as possible. We already beat them head-to-head. It's going to be nice that if they get knocked out as much as possible. Patriots beat the Chiefs. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day that much, in all honesty. I mean, it would be nice, but it doesn't really matter. We do want the Dolphins to beat the Jets, just so the Jets can get out of the playoff race and kind of go somewhere else. But other than that, though, the best we can leave this week with is, hypothetically speaking, 49 to 50% chance to make the playoffs. That's the best we can sit at the end of this week. Obviously, you know, Chiefs win, Patriots win. Even if the Patriots beat the Chiefs, it does sit us at like 51% chance. That's because then the Broncos and the Chiefs, Broncos beat the Chiefs once. They tied head-to-head. It would... But we're not going to talk about crazy scenarios, okay? We're sitting at a 49-50% chance to make the playoffs going into next week. If we beat the Steelers, I get it, it's in Pittsburgh. I get it's going to be a tough game, but look what we did today against the Vikings. We sit at a 74-75% chance to make the playoffs. If the Chargers beat the Bills, which is almost impossible, so we're not going to talk about that. Let's talk about the games that could happen. Jags lose to the Bucks. Okay, give me some more realistic crap here, please. Browns beat Texans. Very realistic. If CJ Stroud cannot go and he's still in concussion protocol, that is very possible. It says that the Cowboys beat the we need the Dolphins to beat the Cowboys, which actually makes no freaking sense. Other than the only sense that makes is if we want the Dolphins to win the conference. And we want them to somehow... this makes no sense. Why would we wouldn't want the Dolphins to... I guess you could say then the Dolphins would be in that playoff race, in that wild card race. That's probably why we want the Dolphins to win this game. Because if they win, then they're not in that wild card race and they win the division. So I'm going to guess that's why we want the Dolphins to win, because then it will be they can take the division, and it knocks out the Bills from getting the division at that point. We really need the Chargers to win. Now, here's the thing, right? Okay? Chargers are playing their first game after firing their head coach, Brandon Staley. Every team has played better the game after they fire their head coach. Every team in history. Whenever a team fires a head coach who's really bad, they play amazing football the following week. It's possible that the Chargers beat the Bills. And that's based on the fact that they just fired their head coach. Bucs beat the Texans. Hopefully they can beat the Jags. The Bucs beat the Texans. They could potentially beat the Jags, and they sit at an 85% chance. Did they beat the Jags or did they beat the Falcons? I feel like they beat the Falcons, not the Jags. I feel like I'm stupid. They did not beat the Texans. I am stupid. They beat the last week. They beat the Falcons last week. They did not beat the Texans. No, they played the Texans earlier this year and they lost by 2 points. Never mind. But still, they beat the Jags, 85% chance. Patriots beat the Broncos, 91% chance. And we'll go into our final week here versus the Chiefs week. And as long as the Raiders beat the Colts, let's go with the Titans here beating the Texans. Chargers beat the Broncos. And Seahawks beat the Steelers. We are in the playoffs even before we get into this game versus the Chiefs. And if this all happens correctly, and they'll say the Chiefs beat the Raiders next week. Next week. We're 100% in the playoffs before the Chiefs game even happens. So we can 100% clinch the playoffs in Week 17. Even if we lose to the Chiefs. So even if we lose to the Chiefs and we lose to the, what other team is here? The Browns. We are 100% in the playoffs. I repeat. This is 100% in the playoffs. This is a 9-8 record. Okay? Can we make the playoffs if we lose all these other games? Yes. We can lose. If we lose out, we can still make the playoffs. Now we talk about fun things. This took me an hour to figure out. But this is what needs to happen for us to go 8-9 and get into the playoffs at the 7th seed. Okay? You ready? This. Oh my gosh, this is mind-boggling. Yeah, it needs... Okay, by the way, just a little side note here. Every NFC team does not matter. NFC games do not matter. I just throw them in randomly. So do not think of any NFC games. Unless they're playing the NFC team, it does not matter. So if it's NFC versus NFC, throw it out the window. It does not matter. Only games that matter is the AFC teams. So let's go through each team and what has to happen. This is us losing every game moving forward. But, again... losing every game moving forward, but obviously we still make the playoffs. We need the Ravens to beat the Jags. The Niners game does not matter, okay? This doesn't matter at all. This just means that the Browns win the division. Same thing with this game. Does not matter at all. But let's just put it, well, keep it how it was, okay? Steelers need to beat the Ravens in the final week of the season. Why is that the case? It actually does not matter, honestly. Ravens can win out, too. Anyway, okay, sorry. I put in a lot of situations. We need the Bills to lose out. We need the Bills to lose out. We need the Bills to lose out. We need the Patriots to win some of these games. So I'm just going to go through each AFC team just to kind of break this down real fast. Obviously, we have us, who's 100% in the playoffs and losing out. We need the Broncos to lose out, too. Broncos need to lose out. Where's the other team? Houston Texans, we need them to lose every game, but we need them to beat the Colts in the final game of that season. And by the way, shout out to the fact that 8-9, we're 8-9. There is like a 5-team tiebreaker for 8-9, and we get in based on the tiebreaker. That's how crazy this crap is. Houston Texans, Indianapolis Colts. We need them to lose 3 games, win 1. Jacksonville Jaguars, lose every game, win every game except lose to the Ravens. I mean, again, that game does not matter at the end of the day. The Ravens could lose that game too. Kansas City Chiefs just went out. We need the Las Vegas Raiders, lose 2 games, win 1, beat the Broncos, please. So that you keep that Broncos losing out. Chargers, win 2, lose 1. Miami Dolphins, win 2, lose 2. This doesn't matter, by the way. This game doesn't matter, and this game does not matter. Dolphins does not matter for us because they will win the division and either win the conference or not. Patriots, you can lose to the Chiefs. I don't care about that. Win every other game. You gotta win out. In order to get us in the playoffs, New England, you gotta win out for us. Jets game. Jets have to lose out. Completely lose out. They could beat the Dolphins. It doesn't matter. They could beat the Browns. It doesn't matter. But they have to. Actually, none of these games matter, okay? They could lose out. It does not actually matter. I just put them in there, obviously. Some of them do matter. Some of them do not matter. All right, Pittsburgh Steelers. You got to win 3 and lose 1. You got to lose to the Ravens. Well, that game doesn't matter. The Ravens game does not actually matter at the end of the day. And then Titans, you win 2, you lose 2. And that puts us in the playoffs. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.